Hello, this video is for stage 3 of the tuna bottle opener. Now, for stage 3, we're going to create this pocket right here. I'm going to leave a little bit of material. We're going to engrave it. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to go over that to clean up any burrs that might have been left by my chamfer tool. And then we are going to do a contour on the inside of the bottle opener because we've done the adaptive material removal and we left stock, and now we need to go back and clean up those sidewalls. So let's get to it. This is stage 3, the tuna stage 3. And here we are. We're at the contour. Now, I need to do a 2D pocket. I'm going to select 2D pocket. Now I'm going to use my 1/4 inch flat. I'm going to leave 6,000 and 6,000 RPM, and we'll do 10 inches a minute for my cutting. For geometry, it took me a minute to figure this out. You do not want to just select that. If you select that, it's going to try to cut everything in this blue. So I'm going to deselect it. I want to select this surface. And I want to select that. Now in my other model, I did not extrude the clay like this. I just did a text on there, sketching, and then selected that. So we'll see how this goes. It might not work how I want it to. We're going to find out. That's what I want. So for heights, I'm going to leave selected contours. For top height, I'm going to say model top. Passes tab, we are going to leave the 150 thou optimal low or step over. We're going to leave just a little bit of material. We're going to go 0.002, 0.002. I'm going to do smoothing. I'm going to do feed optimization. And when it gets to a radius of 0.0125, we're going to slow it down to 2.5 inches a minute. And linking, let's see what happens. I'm going to say okay. Okay, it does what I want it to. Good. I was worried that it's going to give me issues with how I have that kind of extruded at the bottom, but it seemed to work well. All right. I love it. I believe I'm going to leave that one. And I'm going to make sure that when the tool comes off, you see this actually? It's going to nick my part. When on that lead out is too big. I'm glad I caught it now. So I'm going to go edit. I'm going to the linking tab. And the vertical lead-in radius, I'm going to say 0. Linear lead-in distance, I'm going to say 0. And now I'm going to say OK. And you see how I don't go into the part yet, but there's no... let me look at something really quick. I'm going to cheat. Ideally, I want a little horizontal lead-in radius so it's not so abrupt. I didn't do it here and it turned out fine, so I did have a little one. Excuse me. Let's play with it. So edit. Let's do something real small. Go to our linking tab. Horizontal lead. Let's just say linear lead-in distance. Let's say 0.01. And let's see if it does anything. You see, I don't like how it doesn't let me. We're just going to deal with that. See, it's not letting me do a real horizontal lead-in. Okay, I'm not going to fuss with it too much. It's adequate for what we're doing. If you want to fuss with it more, by all means. All right, so it's going to come in, clean that. I'm going to leave 2 thou on the sidewalls and the bottom because I want to come through with an engraver. And there's a few ways you could do it. But I'm leaving 2 thou. And the next one I'm going to do is a trace. I'm not going to do engrave. It always annoys me. I'm going to do trace. And I'm going to trace with let's go to our clay mini mill aluminum. I want to do a 1/4 inch chamfer. Tool 5, I'll say select. I'm going to spin that baby at 6,000 RPM. And I'm going to say 10 inches a minute. We'll go nice and slow. 10, 10, 10, 10. Geometry. Now this is where I need to be careful. Do not select the bottom or you're going to have some real deep engraving. I'm going to go click, 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 And I think that is it. Well, no, it's not it. Geometry, leave that. Passes. This is where I need for it to engrave. So if you don't do anything here, it will go to the model, to this bottom surface right here, this top edge that you selected. I'm going to go 1 thou deeper. So I'm going to do an axial offset of -0.001. I'll leave smoothing on and I'll say OK. And this is where it'll come down and it'll engrave past that 2 thou. And it'll go 1 thou past the bottom. Let's see what I did here. I just want to make sure. So I did a trace on this one, so it's a little bit different. It was a text, excuse me. It was a sketch text that I did. I'm working on extruded text on the other one, so it's a little bit different. But I did an axial offset, a -thou, okay. So I think that's going to work. Now what I want to do is, if I'm using like a 45-degree chamfer to do engraving, it will leave kind of a bad burr most of the time. So I'm going to go on here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to say duplicate. And you see it populated it right below it. I'm going to left mouse click and drag it below my trace. And I'm going to right click, and the only thing I'm going to change on here, well, maybe a few things. Let's go to stock to leave. Get rid of that. I don't want any stock to leave. Feed optimization. You know what? We'll just leave that. We'll leave. We'll say OK. There we go. That's it. Took care of that pocket. So I have this one. I leave a little bit of material because I don't just go down to this bottom surface right off the bat, because sometimes if you're not cutting material and you're just rerunning a program over a surface, it makes it look a little worse. So I'm leaving a little bit, like 2 thou. I come in with an engraver, so it's going to go 3 thou through material. It's going to leave kind of a burr on there, and then the engraving is only going 1 thou past this surface, and then this pocket just cleans it off and knocks off any burr, and I clean up the surface and the walls all in that one. Cool? Now the next one I'm going to do is a contour, a 2D contour with a 1/4 inch tool. I'm going to clean this up. So we're going to go 2D, and I'm going to do contour. And I want to use my 1/4 inch flat end mill, 6,000 RPM. We're going to go 8 inches a minute. I'm going to go 8, and it updates those to 8. Now geometry, we got to select it similar how we did on the adaptive. I'm going to left mouse click. I don't know what is so frustrating. Left mouse click, roll it on over. I'm going to double click, open contour. So I'm going to grab all these like we did before. That's looking good. And when I like what I see, I'm going to hit the plus. So there's my geometry. Heights tab. I want to go down past model bottom. Selected contours works. We're going to go, because that was a contour, was a model bottom. We'll go -10 thou. And for passes tab, we'll go smoothing, feed optimization. So if the radius is less than 0.125, we'll slow down to 2 inches a minute. And let's look at our linking. I think that's good. We'll say OK. Here we go. So it's going to come in here, walk around this edge, finish all in here, and then finish this edge. Later, we're going to come through into a contour that walks all the way around the part. But this concludes stage 3. So I'll see you in the next video for stage 4. So I don't confuse anyone, this is the end of stage 3. Thank you. Bye.